people, stay dandy, baby. Attack on Titan is an anime franchise which is known for its high-concept action, storytelling, and character drama. And considering that the entire show is essentially all about the cruelty of war, it essentially means that we're going to see some major character deaths in the series. I was not prepared for the one that takes place in this episode, as it happens so suddenly, so abrupt, and it takes away a major character, a character that's practically been there since the beginning of the series, a character which is an absolute fan favorite, and a character that I didn't think was going to meet such a cruel end. And again, it completely highlights the whole message of the entire series, that war is hell. Revenge is just going to bring about more heartbreak, and that's what this entire episode is all about. And of course, if you just wanted to see Eren punching the absolute shit out of Reiner in his armored titan form, well, you're definitely going to get that within like the first 15 seconds of this episode, which, while was really cool, I have to admit was disappointing. We didn't get to see like an all-out, drag-out fight between these two like we saw in the previous seasons, although I have a feeling now that the roles have been slightly reversed a little bit and they're trying to portray Reiner as kind of like the next generation hero of the series, they're going to build up the next confrontation between these characters, and I'm sure it's going to have a lot of payoff here. The fact of the matter is, Eren finishes off Reiner with one freaking massive punch to the jaw, which pretty much just demolishes it. At the same time, Reiner actually goes against Eren simply so that he can actually save Porco, grabbing onto the Jaw Titan form and basically just collapsing after having his giant Titan clock cleaned. But the fact of the matter is, Eren has been through a lot over the course of the last couple episodes, going through multiple transformations and even sustaining a lot of damage himself, so he simply just does not have the power to finish off Reiner. And again, like I said, it's mostly just building up to the fact that we're going to see another big confrontation between the characters. So Eren and all of his comrades make a quick escape to their airship as they prepare to leave and head back to Paradis. And then we get the biggest scene of the episode, a scene that is so powerful that it feels like it goes on for an hour. So Gabi is still just absolutely pissed. She wants to get revenge for the death of her friends and of course for the destruction of everything that's been going on around her, and she desperately wants to try and get revenge against Eren and all of his comrades. And luckily for her, one of the soldiers has actually decided to stay around, this guy who goes by the name of Lobov. I think that's how you pronounce his name, but essentially he is connected to the airship via the maneuver gear, and Gabi basically ends up finding him and ends up shooting and killing him and realizing that she can utilize his gear to actually get up to this airship. Of course, Falco is desperately trying to get her to not actually do this, because no matter what she does, she's not going to be able to take out all these people all at once. She's not going to be able to kill them. She might be able to take out a couple in the process, but the fact of the matter is she'd basically be going directly to her death. And this scene is also really important as it highlights the big differences between these two characters of Gabi and Falco, where Falco seems to have a little bit of sympathy and empathy for those who are from Paradis, not simply seeing them as just devils which must be destroyed, where Gabi is on the opposite end of the spectrum. She sees them as nothing more as things that need to be obliterated so that the true Eldians can take their place into the world. And the conflict between these two characters, I think, is another one of those things that's definitely going to come to a head as we make our ways into the final parts of Attack on Titan. But the fact of the matter is, Gabi and Falco end up flying up to the airship and they make their way inside, and Gabi wastes no time in going on the attack, and she ends up shooting one of the major characters of the series and outright killing her, and it's none other than Sasha. Sasha dies in this episode. A character who I've always seen as sort of like a funny side character who, while has experienced some really intense things in the series, has always been sort of the more lighthearted elements of Attack on Titan, which give it just a little bit of humanity outside of the fact that this is a show just about fighting giant monsters. She was a presence that I felt that was always needed in the show. But the fact of the matter is, ever since a couple of episodes ago, when Eren and his group came in and Gabi actually saw Sasha killing all those people, and they made eye contact, it was inevitable that there was going to be conflict amongst them. I just didn't expect that it would happen so abruptly like this. Gabi just comes in, shoots her directly in the chest, I'm presuming right through her heart, and in just a matter of minutes, Sasha dies, barely even having any final words, mostly talking about the fact that Connie and Jean are too loud, and apparently her last words appropriately are meat. It might come across as goofy, but if you know the character and the type of person that she is, how she's obsessed with food and everything, and how she's always had sort of that, like, aloof, goofy personality, it makes sense for her to say something like this. But it hurts to see a character like that taken in such an abrupt manner in a way that I didn't even expect. I mean, this is a show about people fighting giant monsters, and I never imagined that Sasha was going to be killed by a random child shooting a gun. And it's terrifying and it's heartbreaking all at the same time. Terrifying in a sense that Gabi has completely lost herself to her wanting to get revenge against all of these people. And sad, of course, because Sasha, I don't feel, earned a death like this. I don't think she needed to be killed off right here. But it's certainly established that all bets are off. Anyone can die. Anyone's head is on the chopping block at this point. And watching the devastation of everyone react to this death is remarkable, to say the least. Of course, characters like Connie and John are visibly upset, but then all the other soldiers are desperately angry and immediately go on the attack of Gabby and Falco, just beating the absolute shit out of them. And then we get another scene, because, you know, they didn't just want to devastate you with the death of Sasha, they wanted to throw another freaking wrench into the works. We get to discover that apparently Zeke is not dead. He's actually been captured by Levi, and apparently this has all been a part of the plan, the calculations which have been cooked up by none other than Zeke Yeager himself. Apparently he's not with the Marley soldiers, the Marley army. Apparently he's kind of like a double agent, and he's working along with Eren and their group, although I have a feeling he still has motives of his very own. But the fact of the matter is, things have changed now. It looks like Zeke has changed sides, and while he does seem to be still under a little bit of scrutiny from Levi and the other parts of the group, the fact of the matter is he's now working alongside his brother Eren, which is very strange, and boy does it just raise so many more questions as to what's really going on here. And Falco and Gabi get to see this firsthand, which is also just as freaking weird. They don't even really know how to process anything that's going on. I don't even know how to process any of this stuff. When they revealed the thing about Zeke, I didn't really have time to come to grips with it because I was still thinking about Sasha's death, which had just happened, and it's just so abrupt in the way that it actually happens, and I feel that she never got to fully live up to her potential in this series, and man, that just, it hurts so much. You wanted to see how much she's actually grown over the course of this time skip, to see how powerful she's become, how strong and competent of a character she's become, and you could definitely see a lot of that in a lot of the things she's done in the last couple of episodes, how much more of a hardened soldier that she's become, especially in terms of her skills and her sniping skills. But man, she was just snuffed out so quickly in this episode. And then they just dropped this Zeke bombshell on you. And you're like, wait, what the hell's going on? Eren reacts to the death of Sasha, and because he can't seem to control his emotions, he starts laughing, basically just going crazy over all of this. And this can look really insensitive to a lot of other characters, but the fact of the matter is that's just the way that Eren deals with things sometimes. He's either really stoic or he's just manic, and it looks like he's just popped the manic pill. That's basically what's going on here. So, what's the rundown on this episode of Attack on Titan? The death of Sasha Blouse. Again, I didn't see it happening this way. I mean, there was always a chance that character could die, and I always knew that if any of these main characters within the main group die, it was going to be really big. And this is a big moment. It's just, I didn't see it happening this way. I just always thought that she would get eaten by a Titan, or attacked by something even bigger and more crazy. I didn't think that it would be this revenge-filled child that was going to kill her with one shot from a gun. And again, it just shows how far this conflict in the series has gone, and how even though they are trying to get revenge against one another, it's just another one of those vicious cycles. You get revenge against one person, they'll want to get revenge against you too, and it's just going to keep on going. It's a vicious cycle, as they always say, and that's basically what's going on in this episode. But there's some other little developments here that I think that are kind of interesting, like the fact that we get to see that one blonde soldier who led both Porco and Peak away to drop them into that big cellar so that they couldn't transform, is actually a brand new character who seems like she's kind of important. She goes by the name of Yelena, and Peak has certainly taken interest in her, as he's actually seen her before years previous, and again, she seems kind of like a mole, someone who's infiltrated their way into Marley in order to basically lead Eren and his group there so that they could begin this big attack. But I'm not sure what the deal is with this character quite yet. Levi definitely manages to chew her out just a little bit too, especially for the fact, or actually even John is the one who's doing it too, basically saying that even though she did fulfill her mission, they were still able to escape and cause all this trouble, which is what caused Zeke to have to cause a little more destruction than that was absolutely necessary. I just want to know how all of this has actually led up to this weird alliance, especially because man, you gotta think back on some of the big scenes from the original seasons of Attack on Titan, like what Zeke has actually done, the damage that he's done in order for this plan to actually work. Is this something that's only been recently cooked up, or is this something that's been in the works for a long time? You can even still feel an immense amount of tension between both Zeke and Levi, just for the fact that one, Levi probably still absolutely hates him, especially because he is pretty much responsible for the death of Erwin. And Erwin was a massive influence on Levi as well. So you can see that they're sort of reluctantly teaming up here. And this whole incident with him attacking him in the recent episode was also just a part of their weird, convoluted plan, as strange as it actually is. But again, with that right there, this entire moment will be defined by the death of Sasha, which again, I felt was just so abrupt and strange. I'm still processing it, to be perfectly honest. It's something that I think isn't going to take effect until I watch the episode a couple more times, but the fact of the matter is, the terror of the series no longer lies in the giant monsters that they're fighting. It's in the very hearts of humans, and again, that's definitely one of the biggest cornerstones of Attack on Titan, and really, it's just got me even more hooked to see what's going to be happening next in this big final season. So I thought this was a really strong experience with some really great striking imagery at the beginning with the battle against Eren and Reiner. As short as it was just explosive and awesome, but it's really all about that amazing character drama and the death of Sasha in this episode and the bombshell of Zeke. What's going on with that dude? I loved this episode. It was monumental and emotional. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. But I'd love to get your thoughts on the episode. If any of you guys have watched it already, please sound off in the comment section below telling me what you thought about the latest episode of the series, the death of Sasha Blouse. How are you saddened by her death? Do you have any favorite Sasha moments from the series? What character is going to die next, and what's going to happen in the big final season? And what's going on with Zeke? Sound off, comment sections below. Tell me all about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one. If you did like this video, transform into your Titan form and smash the like button. It helps out these videos tremendously. I also want to go ahead and take this time to thank all of my patrons. You guys are the Titans of Ace Guru by watching my videos, leaving me comments, liking them videos, but most importantly, you go the extra mile. You make donations every single month, and I can't thank you enough for that. Remember, first-time donators, I'll review an anime series of your choice, and I would love to add your name to this list of credits. You guys are the producers of Ace Guru. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. I'll see you all next time, and as always, stay down there, baby.